Welcome back everybody to the final conflict with good versus evil, light versus dark, or light versus void. This is Wolf of Holland, and the Dark Knights are going to sacrifice themselves to hold back their dark powers. So she lost the power of the dark crystals and has become more weaker. And we are going to perish instead of die. And here she is. Though she has slightly different palette swap colors. The tentacles are slightly different. I think they're red instead of blue. Alright. No, not that. I want to fight. Pretty much you need two healers. Two people healing constantly. First off, your stronger healer, heal 4 on all. And then haste up any melee characters. Ow. And then just go all out with healing with your other two characters. And if you have a ninja, just keep throwing shurikens. I don't know if in this game any character can probably throw them. I think in the DS version it does over max damage. It registers, it only views as, you only see it pop up as max damage, but it actually registers as a greater value than max damage. And don't forget to equip your shurikens every round. I think they pretty much designed the game for people. They probably figured people were going to be using ninjas and sages, so just keep that Cure 4 and Cure 3 going. Or if you have two people with Cure 4, use that. Based on the ninja. Cure 4. She's much harder than the DS version, and I think she has, I think you can attack the tentacles, take their own turns, so you have to attack them individually as well. Holy cow. Damn. See, now I think, yeah, this has a glitch too. I think that the shurikens actually register as higher than max damage. So she'll take more damage than that is displayed. As well as I think all the NES versions of the game take place in sort of a spacey, starry background. 4. Re-equip our shurikens. Oh god, please don't take their money. Thank you. Just barely. Oh god, I don't know if I'm gonna survive the next round. And we did it! You can hear the music slowly dying down, and thunder cracks, and she perishes in she's a pretty neat little... I can't remember if 2 was better, but it's... They get better with the ending boss dying. So there we go. We have won the day and defeated the Dark Cloud who has tried to take over the world. And, Zindi, all that, and there we go. Save the Dark World and the Light World. And we get treated to an 8-bit Starry Sky. Interesting. Ooh, hope. Always hold on to hope, people. Interesting. Anyways, so basic overview of this game. Probably the best out of the... It requires the least amount of grinding. Good story, good character, good in-depth battle system for the NES. Yeah, so it's an all-around decent game. And probably the best of the NES series, in my opinion. They really push the limits of the NES with this, especially doing stuff like this. As for the story is quite simple, a little bit expanded on the first game, involving the Light and Dark Warriors, and you get happy music. And everybody is safe. I don't know why Arca is such a big... oh well. So we're heading on our way home. Yeah, the story is a little lackluster, but it works, what can I say? It's simplistic compared to the second game. Character development, not really there. Lacks quite a bit, but it's no different than the first game. There's no character development really whatsoever. So here we are, dropping our friends off at all the homes where they live, whatever. And dropping everybody off and saying our goodbyes. Well, thank you guys. You guys rock, especially with your little red noses. Graphics, it's probably one of the best Final Fantasy in terms of graphics. The graphics are a little washed though on the world map. I find they're a little duller than the second and first game. No problem, Arliss. But with all the different sprites for the battle animations and stuff like that, they really cram-packed a lot into it. Battle system. There are a lot of adding to the job class really makes it nice, really in-depth, more in-depth than the first and second game. But for some reason we switched to the Nautilus. And this is going to Canaan too. What was I saying? Yeah, for some reason, a lot of jobs aren't very useful. Because a lot of the abilities don't work or aren't useful for the majority of situations, like the Scholar is a lot more useful in the DS version because you can actually use black and white magic, as well as the scan ability that he has will actually debuff enemies slightly. Like it will remove, it's like dispel. It will cause dispel to enemies. Shut up. So there we go, we said bye to Dash and Sid. Dash finally got back with his girl. The last one is Princess Sarah. Like I said, in the DS version, Princess Sarah has a crush on Ignis. And she's gonna come with us? I guess not. Oh yeah, we're going back home. Yeah, the braid didn't really work in this game, but is a lot more useful in the DS version. The sing ability has a lot more useful. Well, it's time consuming because you have to pretty much switch out harps and stuff like that, but it's a lot more useful than it is this game. And so each of the job classes in the new game have a little more use to them. Oh, we get a kiss from the dancer, and Sarah gets a little jealous. Music, there really isn't that much music to, good overworld theme, good battle music, decent, not the greatest in the series though. I mean, it's probably one of the least memorable or noticeable music scores of the series. You get treated to this nice little 8-bit cinematic. The game got a little simpler. Luckily the random encounters is cut down a little more than from the second game. There's the water crystal or the wind crystal that sank in, flashing, lighting up our world. Yeah, the random battles are a lot easier and less annoying and frequent as they are in the first and second game. And the dungeons aren't as long and confusing in this game. They're not quite straightforward, but not mazy. Like, the second game was really mazy. All of those dungeons, and it was really frustrating and annoying. Ah, scissors! Overall, decent game. Level 55, yeah. Decent game. Has its faults, but I can't really correct anything because they fixed a lot of the faults in my opinion, like the job system making better jobs, as well as they got rid of the CP thing, or the capacity points for changing jobs in the DS version, so I can't complain about that because they did fix that. As well as the DS version, they made a lot of the jobs more balanced. Like, the Sage doesn't have as much MP, he has only half the MP as the standard if somebody actually specialized in a specific magic. As well as the Invoker, you'd only have the Invoker, the weaker black-white magic, rather than the full summon of the Summoner, as opposed to this game where he has full power of the Summoner. And so they balanced that out a bit more. The Ninja couldn't equip whatever it wanted like it can in this game. Like in this game, the Ninja can equip everything, while in the DS version it can only equip certain items. There's the 4 old men. Arliss with his crooked crown, not crooked clown. And Dorga. Interesting. Anyways. So yeah, this game really doesn't, there's nothing, other than the job system, there's nothing that really jumps out at this game. I think that's the majority of what this game is known for, is starting the job system. The other thing was that, like, red mages were a little more useful in the DS version because they were more powerful and they could equip better weapons and armor than they could in this game. Though they still hit harder than most mages, they still suck in the mage category with very little magic. Yeah, Hunter has a better ability, being able to use Barrage and White Magic, I believe. Thief, pretty much the same thing, steal and run away. The Knight has White Magic. Bard that has Sing and something else. Geomancer wasn't very useful in this game. It's not even very useful, but it is kind of useful if you're a cheap flash magic user. Viking, it's pretty much a meat shield in the DS version, but this is just the same thing as the... Same with the Dragon, the same thing as the Knight. There's no difference between those 3 classes. Yeah. There we go. Mystic Knights were turned into Dark Knights in the DS version. Little kitty ears. How cute are they? Yeah, ninjas were just ridiculously overpowered, and the DS version really balanced the stats out. As well as it lowered, like, the melee characters who didn't have any magic. Their intelligence and stuff like that was a lot lower in the DS version, so they didn't have as much, which made sense. But they were more powerful in their physical attacks than they are in this game, but the enemies are much more powerful. I really didn't have to actually grind that much in this game. In fact, there's almost very little grinding in this game compared to the second game. You had to grind so much for the magic. In the first game, you just had to grind to level up. Would I recommend people playing this game? I'd only recommend it if you're, like, I'd only really recommend it if you like to, you know, battle systems and not really into big story or plot development, I wouldn't recommend this game because there's nothing. It's a rather boring game in that sense. But the battle system is probably one of the more interesting things. So yeah, that's the end of Final Fantasy 3. This one never came to America. The American version of Final Fantasy 3 is actually the Japanese version of Final Fantasy 6. And a lot of people didn't realize, even I didn't realize this until the internet came. Because I was kind of curious how it went to Final Fantasy 3 to Final Fantasy 7, but oh well. Just trying to think of anything else I want to say. Of course, every time I finish this, I always think of something to say. Every time I finish the final episode, I always think of this like last thing to say, but I can't really seem to come to me at this point. So, I think I'll just end it here. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you've enjoyed this LP. Bye now.